motorcycle. These are the new 2170 cells. The price is pretty good on them, so I'm running a test where the machine charges them, drains them, measures the amount of power in them, and then charges them back again. So this one's charging at a 0.5 amp, and this one is charging at 1 amp. And this one's running a fast test. So I'm gonna just check. These are supposed to be 4,000 milliamps. If they are what they say they are, then I'm gonna buy 576 of them for the bike, which will give it a peak power of 100 kilowatts. These are some of the old 1860 cells, and some here. But if these do what they claim, then the price is exceptionally good. These are half the cost of these. These are 3,000 milliamp, 40 amp peak, and these are 45 amp peak, which is just the amount of current that they can deliver for a short period of time, which is what I want for the bike. And the whole pack will be about 8,500 kilowatt hours, which might be good for 100-mile range. You'll see. So this one's still charging. This one's discharging, and it's accumulating the amount of energy. So that's just a charger. So if these are good, then I'll be happy with that. And progress on the car. I've added fiberglass, thin layer of 1.4 ounce fiberglass to these side skirt panels. So it's supposed to be rough because I'm just putting the fiberglass down. Then I'll sand it and I'll add lots of layers of epoxy and sand it smooth. The fiberglass is going to just hold these together so that when I pull the molds off, this foam mold doesn't disintegrate. So I've got a left and a right. I did some sanding. You can see areas cut out there, and then added fill to expand, and all kinds of different areas. So I'll cut this out after. And once this cures, then I'll cut off the edges. This just makes it easier rather than cutting all of the pieces to size. So those are looking good so far. Tomorrow I'll trim up the edges. Reed's been adding layers of fiberglass to the rear bumper. We're using white pigment, and I think it'll make it easy, the mold on the inside, to see how the mold release is consistency, which is important. And well, yeah, we'll test it out. So once this is done, we'll add reinforcement ribbing to it to keep it straight. We'll pull it off. Some of the edges need, some of the edges leaked. Like right here. So that epoxy leaked through, and I'll have to cut that off. And then I'll make molds that cover this, the underside of the well, and then this bottom part as well. So extra panels there, under here, and on this side here. This surface needs to have a separate part, and then we'll drill through these to add multi-part molds. So this will be made out of multiple pieces. That way the mold comes together with all of the pieces. The carbon and epoxy resin get injected, and then the mold will come apart, allowing the part to come free. And then after these are done, which will probably take about 2 more weeks to finish these up before they're ready for the mold, then this front bumper and front hood are the last remaining pieces of the exterior mold that need to be fixed. This needs a lot of work, but being the last one, and also it's the largest, so this is going to be a lot of work just to make because there's more surface area, but also it's a complicated part to make the mold because the epoxy wants to drip, and there are limited ways that I can turn this thing around. The other thing that complicates the hood bent in a way that doesn't match the contour, so I've added these wood shims in order to bend the the hood so that it matches this seam here. You have to look at it from the side. And then I'll prop this up. I'll fix that. And then I'm gonna sand the gap so that it's smooth all the way around. Then I'll take this out, add fiberglass to this, like this has fiberglass under it, and then epoxy to smooth it out. The fiberglass will keep this as one piece, and I'll probably add foam and fiberglass to the inside, because this is fairly fragile, being so large and heavy to keep it together. And then these are just leftover parts. The interior is gonna come second, and then these are the nice molds, multi-part, all of them. The pieces being fixed in the back, and the doors came out really, really well. So here's the first door panel, no voids, and then this is the second one, and it's still got the PVA on it. We use white pigment, and I just have to clean up the edges, but the panel came out really well. You can see we've added these ribs to keep the part torsionally stiff, so that when the fiberglass or the epoxy and carbon is being injected, that the part is straight, and that all the parts go on the car and that they all fit together. So I'm really happy with the way these came out. This is the windshield mount, and then these are the leftover forms from the molds. They'll go into storage later. Yeah, that's the update for today.